everyone, welcome into the Flippin' Hippos YouTube channel. I'm Star the Flippin' Hippo, and today is Monday, December 23rd. We are 2 days out from Christmas, and it's also a Monday. You know what that means. It's time for What Sold on eBay! Just like every week, guys, I'm going to take you on a walk through our Instagram photos where I put up a photo of our packages each and every day just to give everyone an idea of the volume that we're doing. I do this every day regardless of how many packages we have, just to be transparent and show the reality of reselling. It really is a roller coaster sometimes. Even in times that are meant to be slow, you'll have really good days. And then in times like Q4, you're going to have really bad days, as you guys will see. After I show you these photos, we're going to jump over to some eBay sales. I have chosen a few items to show you that are BOLO for you guys to be looking out for when you're sourcing. I picked out a few of our better remote sales this week to give you guys an idea of what remotes to look for. I got some bread and butter items, and as always, all of the plush that sold because they're my favorite. You are currently looking at today's photo. This is actually pretty good for the weekend before Christmas. For a normal weekend, this would be about half of what we would expect our weekend sales to be. Our historical sell-through rate, most of you already have heard this a million times, but it is 0.5%. So we should be at around 30 packages on a Monday to encompass 3 days of sales. However, Friday was the last day for guaranteed shipping before Christmas for first class, and then Saturday was the last day of guaranteed shipping before Christmas for priority mail. Everyone is done with their holiday shopping. Everyone is done buying gifts. No one is really yet in that buy for myself mode. That's going to start picking up on Christmas Day moving forward into next week as people get their gift cards and their money that they're going to get for Christmas. So typically that last weekend right before Christmas, after those deadlines, it's dead. So for us to have 13 eBay sales and 4 on Poshmark was pretty outstanding. And the Poshmark sales were 2 men's shirts and 2 women's pairs of shoes. So people might already be getting some money ahead of time, maybe from some out-of-town relatives, and already buying things for themselves. But to have 17 packages 2 days before Christmas, for us, we're okay with that. It's pretty darn good. We really thought it was going to be a lot less. Last Monday, we had 34 packages, 33 were eBay, and 1 was Macari. So last weekend was stellar, right on par for where we should be. Although in Q4, you would expect it to be a little bit higher. But as we have all seen since October, this Q4 was weird. It just wasn't what all the Q4s of the past years had been. This Q4 was actually a little bit disappointing. So 34 is good. And then on Tuesday we had 6 all eBay. Wednesday we had 8. 8 packages on Wednesday. Thursday we only had 1. And then on Friday, we had 7, 6 eBay and 1 Posh. So you can kind of see that roller coaster I was talking about, where it goes from 6 to 8 to 1 to 7. But still a pretty good week for that week before Christmas. I am keeping my fingers crossed that sales are going to pick up Christmas Day or the day after, moving into next week, and people start spending on themselves. If you didn't see my video I put out yesterday, I really talked a lot about that, about how people are going to start shifting their focus back into shopping for themselves and spending the money that they receive. If you didn't watch that, I'll have it pop up at the end. I give you guys a lot of really good tips in there on how to entice buyers in and increase your sales over the next week as folks start to shift that buying mode back to buying for myself. And we're going to start seeing in Q1, first quarter of next year, those of us that are used clothing resellers, shoes, plush, things like that, you will start to see an increase in sales because people are going to be getting their tax refunds. A lot of people say that like February through April is actually like the Q4 for used clothing sellers. That's when people are absolutely shopping for themselves and using those tax returns. So let's jump over to eBay and get a start with the plush. You're looking at a Thai Monsters. This is Zelda. She's a talking plush. I did accept the best offer of $12 for her. She's cute. So she did sell for $12. I paid 50 cents for her at the Goodwill, and she was listed Thursday or Friday, so she sold pretty quickly from being listed. I have another Monsters that's pink that doesn't talk anymore that's been in the store for about a month. So I'm thinking that the one that talks is more sought after, clearly. But she did sell really quick, and then right next to her is this Neopet. It's a real small yellow Neopet. This one is 8 inches, and I accepted a best offer of $8.44 on this one, 50 cents at the Goodwill. This one was listed on Friday. So these little tiny bread and butter plushes like Zelda here and the, what's his name, Island Kachik, they only go for, you know, like $8 or $12 or whatever. But if you can get them for 50 cents or less, and they're going to sell within a couple of days, for me, that's really good for plush. Most plush, you guys know, is super long tail and takes a long time to sell. So these little ones that don't sell for a lot but sell pretty quickly, I still like them. I still would consider them bread and butter, or maybe even bolos in some instances, because you can put 50 cents in to sell it for 12 within a couple of days. You're getting your return on investment back and a nice little profit very quickly. Good turnaround. So that is why I like Neopets, and some of these Thai plush do really well. There's some that aren't good and some that are. This poop pillow, let me tell you guys, is poop. Literally. It is a poop emoticon, and it was poop. I bought 2 of these pillows at a yard sale, very beginning of the season this year, probably May. They were $1 a piece. I thought they were cute. This one I accepted a best offer of 10 on. Got one left. I probably would not buy that. I've never had really good luck with the emoji plush, so I'm probably mentally moving them to a no-low list in my own head. So far, all of these plush I've showed you guys have all gone first class. Here's a Classic Toy Company. This is a brand that I do enjoy. I really like Classic Toy Company, especially specific types of animals within this brand. You guys know I talk about this brand all the time. The dragons do really well, the snakes do well, and any animals that aren't very common. This snake was 50 cents at the Goodwill. He sold for $14.06 and shipped first class. We have an Olaf here, a Thai Sparkle Olaf, 50 cents at the Goodwill. And he sold for $10.31. And he sold pretty fast too. I believe I listed him Wednesday or Thursday of last week. So again, not a high dollar amount, but he went fast. But that also could be because Frozen 2 just recently came out, and Frozen's very popular right now. I kind of have a feeling he would have sat for a lot longer had the movie not just come out. And here we have a Hello Kitty. Hello Kitty's pretty, well, a bread and butter for me. I do like the Hello Kitty plush. I do pick them up whenever I find them for $1.50. This one was 50 cents at the Goodwill. She was a little different, so I liked her especially for that. She wasn't your typical Hello Kitty with the pink bow and the normal shirt. This one had a blue shirt with flowers. She's got like a flower on her head. She sold for $13.50. I accepted a best offer on her, and she also shipped first class. Another Woody sold. If you guys have been watching the What Sold videos every Monday the past couple of weeks, I've been selling 1 or 2 Woodies a week. I bought 5 of them at a yard sale for $1 a piece. They sat around for a long time in the death pile, and I started putting them up this month, and it's pretty much as fast as I put them up, they're selling. I have 1 left, so 4 have sold. They're selling for $15 or $16 a piece. In last week's video, I actually broke it down for you how much we were going to profit on all of them. but it's a nice turnaround. I kind of wish I would have listed them faster, like more when I first got them. Toy Story, the movie, came out a couple months ago, but I still think it's pretty popular. So I have one left, and we'll see how fast he goes. But they've been going pretty much as soon as I can get them up within a week. They're selling. I didn't put all 5 of them up at the same time. They just kind of got. I have a pretty large death pile of plush, you guys, a couple hundred. So I go up and pull some out every week to take photos. I didn't get all the Woodies at once. So this one was $1, and he sold for $16. And this one I put in a wee little box to ship just because he has hard plastic hat and shoes, and I didn't want him to get damaged in shipping. Here's a hippo. Before you guys get really upset with me and want to know why would I sell a hippo, I had 2 of these. This is the Thai Disney Junior Lion Guard. I never can say its name right. Beshti? Is this Beshti? Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. Anyway, this is a little hippo from a Lion Guard show. I had 2 of them. Neither one had their hang tag, the Thai hang tag on their head. The one I kept didn't have the tush tag either. So I bought 2 of them. They were 50 cents a piece at the Goodwill. So the one that had the tush tag, I decided to put in the store and sell. And I kept the other one that didn't have any tags at all for my own collection. So my besties on the shelf with all of the baby hippos. And this hippo went to a new forever home. And it sold for $10 and shipped first class. This guy I picked up just because he was unique looking and pretty cool. Peekaboo Toys. They're not that great of a brand, but I will pick up plush I find within this brand if they're unique. I believe that unicorn duck, the duckicorn that I sold overnight for like, was it 14 or 15 bucks? That was a peekaboo toy. So anytime I see anything unique like unicorns or the half breed, like an animal that's also a unicorn, this cool monster eating a piece of watermelon, I will pick those up in any brand. Those obscure or unique or really rare animals are always good to get regardless of brand. So he was 50 cents at the Goodwill and he sold for 12 bucks. He also was listed within the last couple of weeks and he shipped first class. I sold an Eeyore. This particular Eeyore, I believe, came from the yard sale where I picked up a huge lot of Eeyores, Winnie the Poohs, Tigers, Hard Rock Bears, and Boyd's Bears at a yard sale a couple years ago, like last summer. It came out like each animal was 77 cents. Eeyore and some of the more common Winnie the Poohs are going to be way more long tail than other plush just because they're oversaturated. So I'm still selling off some of those animals from that particular lot I got at the yard sale. But like within the first couple of months, enough of them had sold that the lot paid for itself. So whatever's still sitting around, like some of the Boyd's Bears are taking a long time. Some of the Hard Rock Bears were actually still in the death pile, and I've been digging them out in the last month or 2 and getting them in the store. You guys know we've been going through our inventory and our death piles, and we're not sourcing until the spring because we have so much stuff here to get up. But those that like sat around and weren't listed or were listed and just taking a while, they're pure profit at this point. So, you know, it's okay because sometimes plush can be super duper long tail. Anyway, this Eeyore was around 77 cents. He sold for 17 and he shipped first class. He's really cute. Look at his little face. And this Old Navy men's shirt was actually one I found in our inventory that had fallen off eBay. You guys have been hearing me talk about that for a little bit too. As we go through our inventory and do our inventory check this Q4, we're going through all of our bins in our inventory system. They're in bins by numbers. And we're just double checking everything in there to make sure it's still listed. And if it's not, we consider if we want to relist it or not. Most stuff I am putting back up, and that's why we're not sourcing between our death piles and the inventory I still have to go through that I inherited from my friend a year ago. I still have ton of that downstairs, and everything we're finding. We just have a lot of stuff. And I get this question every single week when I mention this from new sellers. What do you mean it fell off? How do things fall off of eBay? Here's the official answer. I don't know. No one knows. It's just a thing that happens. It's just this phenomenon that sometimes things that you list on eBay just fall off. They're not listed anymore. And if you have 1,000 or 2,000 listings like we do, it's very easy not to notice when things fall off. It's not like we have just a small handful of items that we can keep checking on all the time. And hey, that one thing we listed is gone. We have so many items in the store, we can't keep track of it by looking at eBay. So we once or twice a year go through all of our inventory and do a check. And I highly recommend everyone do that. It's super important because we are finding so many items that fell off. To be fair, it has been a year since I've gone through my inventory. So this is another one of those instances I always tell you guys, do as I say and not as I do. You should really be doing this once or twice a year. And typically I really try to. I just didn't get around to it this year. So it's been since like last summer going into Q4 that I've really done an inventory check. And so there's a lot. Normally you won't find as much as I'm finding, like enough that we don't have to go sourcing. Because if you're doing it once a year or once a quarter, I mean, depending on how many listings you have, if you have a couple hundred, you could be checking it once every quarter or once every other quarter. You know, just set a goal for yourself and be realistic. Don't overwhelm yourself. I don't overwhelm myself. I don't spend a whole day on it. I don't spend a lot of time on it. I get a bin a day and go through it. And if I have spare time or extra time on the weekends, maybe I'll do 2 or 3 bins a day. But don't overwhelm yourself. Just, you know, the start of the quarter, start going through 1 bin a day. And eventually you'll get through it all. But do it a couple times a year. Because you absolutely, not only will you find things that fell off, you'll find mistakes. I have found typos in the titles. I have found items that for whatever reason we spaced out and we didn't put its location in the SKU line. So when you bring a bin down and you pull the items out, you're pulling them up on eBay to make sure they're there. If they're not there, you know to relist it. But again, you may find stuff, oh shoot, I need to put the location in this one. This one had a typo. Hey, that title's pretty wonky. Let me fix it. So you'll find things that you can tweak and fix as well as the items that fell off. Anyway, that was a huge tangent. So this Old Navy shirt was one of the ones that fell off. Probably it was 99 cents at Goodwill. This looks like something we would have picked up for 99 cents. Can't see us paying more for that. I didn't even remember it, to be honest with you. But I did decide that this was something I wanted to get back in the store. I took a best offer of 14 on it, but it sold within 2 days of listing. So even though it's only just, you know, quote unquote, it's only Old Navy, again, it's one of those items that because of its uniqueness and it's nice, it sold pretty quick. And it's only a size, or it's a size extra large. I don't know why I thought it was a large. So the fact that it's a Hawaiian shirt and it was an extra large probably had a lot to do with why it went so fast. But again, I found it. I got it up within a couple of days, and then it sold within a couple of days of that. So that was something that was just sitting in a bin that we didn't know had fallen off, that was not making us any money, and then it sold pretty quickly. So it is really good to go through your inventory, guys. So it sold for $14 and shipped first class. This is one that Keith picked up in Florida when we went sourcing with Casey. I want to say this one was $2 or $3. Eli Cattleman's a really good brand to be looking out for. The Western Pearl Snap shirts like this. Eli Cattleman is a good brand. This particular one I took a best offer of $20 on. It shipped first class. It was listed the same day as this Old Navy one. So it was another one that sold within a couple of days of going up. These Disney bookends, I could kick myself in the butt for. So these are super cute. We found them at an estate sale in 2018. So over a year and a half ago is when we found these. They were $1 for both. And they are super cute. And they got put in a death pile. And I just recently found them. So they were buried in a death pile up in the serial killer room. If you're new to the channel, we refer to our third floor unfinished attic space that we use for storage as the serial killer room. But look how cute they are. And it's just another instance of a mistake that I make or something that I do that I would highly recommend and advise you guys not to do. Don't just bring your stuff home from your sales and your thrifting and your sourcing and just dump them in piles somewhere. Because these sat around for a year and a half. I got them listed 2 weeks ago. So that was, I mean, they were only $1, but that adds up. If you have all of your stuff in piles everywhere, you literally have piles of money just sitting around doing nothing for you. I get so frustrated with myself. These sold for a best offer of $12, but like within a couple of weeks of being listed. And I found them upstairs, just buried somewhere. This one we just got over the summer. This summer, longtime viewers may remember I had 2 other versions of this. I had 4 total, but I had 2 of the one. These guys, and there was a Mickey Mouse gumball machine, like a mini golf gumball machine. There was some little, not a little, it was a big in the box, brand new plush Mickey and Minnie in a sleigh. I got them all from this one really nice older gentleman. He's from Florida. They spend their summers here. They live near Disney in the winter, and they cut me a deal. I bought so much stuff from those guys. They had all this great Disney stuff. This was like about a quarter probably. This was the last one I had of the 4. This one sold for $12, shipped first class. And then at the beginning of the yard sale season this year, in May, you guys may remember I went to a yard sale and I bought an entire box of Christmas ornaments for $5 and an entire box of Christmas mugs and kind of Christmas miscellaneous for $2. So I spent $7 at that yard sale for boxes full of Christmas stuff, ornaments. The really good Hallmark ones sold right away. I brought it all home and listed it in July. So I didn't wait. You know, if you guys find Christmas stuff or Halloween stuff, if you find anything out of season, you don't need to sit on it and list it in season. You can list anything anytime. People are buying swimsuits and shorts in January to go on cruises. People are buying winter coats in the middle of the summer. I always preach list it now, list all the things all the time. So I listed everything in July, and all the really, really good stuff sold really fast. And it only took like a couple of the Hallmarks to pay for the whole $7 lot. And now the rest of the stuff that's sitting is starting to sell and trickle through. So this mug, I accepted a best offer of $8 on, and they paid the shipping on it. If we had counted everything we got in both boxes and figured out per piece after the $7, I think it was like maybe 20 cents, maybe even a little bit less for each piece. We got a lot for that $7, and right now everything else is pure profit. So they spent $8 on the mug, and they paid for shipping. And then this came out of that box too. It was just one of those kind of weird odds and ends that was in the box. There were a couple weird canisters and things that weren't mugs. This had been used. Look, it had been burnt down. But I figured since I bought this whole box of stuff, I'm going to list it all and get every single penny out of every single thing I can get. All the profit I can get out of this box. It's a cute candle. It looks like sugar cookies. There's glitter. It smells like a Christmas cookie. So even though it was used, I decided I'm going to list it. And it weighed like 2 pounds, so I did do shipping on it. They paid $15 for this candle, and then they, in addition to that, paid to ship it. So if you guys ever buy stuff like that, boxes of, you know, holiday items, and you find weird stuff in there, like a used candle, if it's a good brand and it's nice looking and it's not too used, try it. You never know who's going to buy what, right? All right, and then we're going to look at 2 remotes. We sold 14 remotes in the last week. That averages out to 2 remotes per day. We're right at about 200 active listings on remotes. So we are doing really good with remotes. We're still hanging in at that 1% sell-through rate on the remotes, which is pretty typical for electronics. They're faster. than used clothing and plush. So you expect them to have a higher sell-through rate. So we are sticking to our 1% on remotes. And I pulled out 2 to show you to keep an eye out for. This one is a genuine Sanyo. And you guys, if you want to pause the video so you can get this model number and look at the remote, or you can go to our store, the link's in the description box. You can always go through our solds and look at the remotes and the pictures to get an idea of what you should be looking for when you're outsourcing. This one sold for $16.87. And then there's this genuine Hitachi. This is for TV. And this is what it looks like. And there's its model number. Our remotes were all averaged out to 53 cents a piece. We spent $1,600 for about 3,000 of them. So they averaged out to 53 cents a piece after shipping and everything. We are steadily working through them. And we're selling them as fast as we can get them up. Really good return rate on these. Probably it was like the first really, really big wholesale lot we ever bought. But it's probably the best wholesale lot we've ever bought. Granted, it's electronics and you're always going to do a little bit better with them. They're going to flip faster. They're going to make you more money. But those are 2 remotes that you guys can really look out for. If you're, you could find remotes at thrift stores, but we find them a lot of times at garage sales and church sales. A lot of our church rummage sales, they'll have like whole rooms with just bins full of these remotes. So if you know what you're looking for, and I try to show you guys the ones that go for a little bit more money, you can dig through there and grab them. But if they're cheap enough, get them all. Like, we have remotes that sell anywhere from $7 all the way on up to $50 and $60 sometimes. The really good ones. But since we paid 53 cents a piece in a whole bulk lot, it's still worth it. So, if you ever can get a whole bucket of them at a church sale and just offer like one price for the whole bucket and they come out to like 50 cents or less a remote, go for it. Don't even waste the time to dig. Bring them home and list them all. So that's this week's What Sold. From plush to remotes, guys. Let me know in the comments down below what y'all think about this video or anything in general. How are your sales doing? Whatever you want to talk to me about. I do love to hear from you guys. You could also always email me at flippinhipposhelp@gmail.com. I do pretty well at staying on top of those. I do answer first in, first out. So if you email me and it takes me a day or 2 to get to you, I always answer the emails that come in first. So I go back, I go through them in the order they come in. So just kind of be patient with me. I sometimes get a lot of emails. But feel free to email me there if you have questions or whatever. Comment on the video. Join our Facebook group, Flippin' Hippos Reseller Pod. That's actually the quickest, best, fastest way to get a hold of me. Join the group. Links in the box down below. And you can always tag me in threads there. And I get back to those within like a couple of hours. I'm really fast on responding to posts within the group. Please hit the thumbs up before you guys take off. It really helps the channel. If you haven't already and you'd like to, please subscribe to our channel and help us feed a hungry hippo. And then you can also find us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. We're at Flippin' Hippos on all social media. Until next time, guys, go be productive as much as you can with us being this close to Christmas. Go make some money. Have a wonderful holiday, and I'll see you next time. Thank you guys for watching. We really appreciate you. You guys are the best. Bye.